At 100,000. See what
I've no excuse.
DDR5 memory is 50% more expensive than DDR4. Is it actually better or is it just marketing? I spent weeks going down rabbit holes on this one. DDR5 benchmarks, DDR4 benchmarks, productivity tests. I read posts online from people saying DDR5 is the future. I read posts online from people saying that it's a complete waste of time. And every single person, and I mean every single person, seemed absolutely convinced they were right. The internet is quite weird when it comes to RAM. It's almost like people need DDR5 memory just to look revolutionary or terrible, and there is no middle ground. But here is what I discovered. The truth isn't about RAM itself, it's about understanding what the specs actually mean, and why most people get it completely backwards. So let's break this down, because if we're going to spend a lot of bread on memory, we should at least know what we're buying. Everyone talks about DDR5 like it changes the game. DDR5 has higher bandwidth, it's the future, and yes, technically that's true. DDR5 can push about 40 to 70 GB per second of bandwidth, compared to DDR4 20 to 40 GB per second. By the way, bandwidth speed is basically how much data can be moved per second. Think of it as a pipe. The larger the pipe, the more water can flow. Now the pipe's width is actually bandwidth, and the water is information. But your CPU, it doesn't really care. Your GPU doesn't care, and they are already leaving most of the bandwidth on the table with DDR4. You're not bottlenecked by bandwidth, you're bottlenecked by something else entirely. Again, think about the water pipe. You have a water source. The old pipe, DDR4, can flow a certain amount of water, while the new DDR5 pipe is wider, and the water source, it's still the same. You're not actually getting more water, you're just wasting potential. The real story is different. It's not about bandwidth, it's about latency. Okay, so here is an analogy. Imagine this Rubik's Cube being pieces of data in your RAM. When your CPU needs it, it sends a request. Then it awaits until you solve that cube. The time it takes to solve the cube is CL rating. DDR4 typically has a CL rating of 16 to 18. DDR5 has a typical CL rating of 30 to 40. And yes, that looks bad on paper. Higher number is slower, usually, right? Wrong. And here is why. The clock speeds matter. DDR4 runs at 3200 metatransfers per second. DDR5 runs at 6000 megatransfers per second. The raw latency in nanoseconds is almost identical. DDR4 CL16 at 3200 megatransfers per second is around 10 nanoseconds. And DDR5 at CL30 at 6000 megatransfers per second is also around 10 nanoseconds. So basically DDR5 is actually faster at higher latency. So if DDR5 is already faster on latency, why doesn't it feel faster in real life? In games, as long as you don't use integrated graphics, the difference is negligible. In video editing and 3D rendering, there is a 5 to 10% difference. And in coding, at compilation, you'll see a pretty big difference of up to 15%. But keeping it real, these speeds and differences are not really affecting you as long as you don't need a 2% FPS boost or 1 second less in code compilation and rendering. DDR5 is not game changing. Here is the important part. A faster CPU, GPU, SSD and even a monitor will give you a better upgrade than everything you could expect from DDR5. Better tires will not make a car with engine issues run better. It helps, but it's not the bottleneck. But here's my summary so far. DDR5 is better, but the price is not justified for 90% of people. Yet. But wait, there's a part of this story that actually makes sense, and it's not about raw performance. DDR4 is dying, literally. New motherboards don't support it, new CPUs don't work with it. If you're building a PC in 2026, your options are DDR5 or a platform that's one foot in the grave. The issue is not the performance, but the platform that started leaving the market. So the real question isn't should I upgrade my DDR4 system to DDR5. The answer to that is a big no. It's not worth it. The real question is, if you're building something new, Should you avoid DDR5 to save money? And here is where I talk from experience. If you're building from zero, you're already getting new parts. You're already buying RAM. Spending extra for DDR5 isn't just future-proofing. It enables a new platform, one with an actual future. It's not about performance, it's about relevance. The real problem with tech marketing isn't that it lies, it's that it oversimplifies. DDR5 is better. It's technically true, but DDR5 is going to change your computing experience is a lie. Stop asking, is this better, and start asking, is this right for me? If you're upgrading your DDR4 system, spend that money on something that matters. A faster SSD, a better CPU, anything else will give you more impact than DDR5. But if you're building new, DDR5 is the obvious choice. Not because it's dramatically better, but because it's the platform that actually is moving forward. I did the same thing by getting my system. I didn't have a nice motherboard, some RAM, a CPU, or even a case. I had to build something from zero. So I decided that a decent AM5 system will do better with some upgrades later on than maxing out an MA4 build. By the way, as some nice to haves. On DDR4, if you wanted dual channel speed, you had to buy 2 sticks. DDR5 splits a single stick into 2 independent sub-channels, giving you dual channel with 1 stick. And it also fixes the errors caused by the dense packed data on the actual chip, increasing stability. So what are you using? DDR4 or DDR5? And if you're building a new system, what's holding you back from upgrading? Let me know in the comments, and if you think this video cleared up the DDR5 confusion, share it with someone who's about to drop money on RAM. Let them know what they're actually buying.